Hey, welcome to the Knitting Samurai +1 video podcast. This is episode 86, The Great Outdoors, sort of. I'm your host, Steph, also known as the Knitting Samurai, and yeah, welcome to April 10th, 11th, whatever that Friday is. That's what today is. It's the 11th, and you know how I know? Because Amy Beth is having an update tonight, and I'm gonna get it. No, forget I even mentioned her update. I'm gonna try and get some of those, I would say, yarn ninja skills, but it's not about yarn, it's about bags. But anyways, how's it going with you? How are things in your knitting world? It is a beautiful, beautiful Friday. I think it's like 65 degrees here in New Hampshire, which for us, that is tropical. And I already went out and recorded an episode in the field, on the edge of the field, in the woods. And I'm not sure how it's going to turn out with the wind and the sun. And so I thought I would just sit down and catch you up a little bit here. So maybe we'll have clips from both, or maybe you won't ever get to see that one. I'm not sure how the rundown's gonna go, but I just wanted to take a minute and record a little bit more here in the more covered inside of my car. So welcome to my car. Yes, you can see Roland's zebra car seat back there. Anyway, so knitting talk. First up, the Tubularity by Martina Bem. I cast it on last week, and you heard me talk about it then. You're gonna hear me talk about it for a while longer because it is a longer term project for me. So here is my progress so far. Maybe I should hold it this way. So I started off with the Jill Draper Make Splendid Stuff. What's the name of that? Yeah. Make Splendid Stuff sock yarn in the spinach colorway, which is an MCM base, and that's the part that's going to be up near my face. Actually, I don't care if my hair gets messed up. You don't care if my hair gets messed up. So let's see. Right over the glasses. So that's the part that's going to be up here, and it's just soft and lovely. So I started with that, and then I moved into the Miss Babs Yummy in the Zombie Prom colorway right here. And then once I finished that, I moved into, it's either Impatience or Impatient with a T. I'm not sure. So that's the third colorway. So I am officially like a third of the way through this. But that's only because I took Tuesday off to have a mommy needs a day to herself day and had 10 glorious hours to myself to knit and knit and knit and clean a little bit. But yeah, so sorry, glasses got dirty in the head and the pulling down of the shawl, scarf, cowl thing. So there it is. I'm really loving it. It's just great. Stockinette stitch. I do have to say, here, true confessions, I ended up alternating skeins through the Zombie Prom section of the yarn just because you can see it. It was driving me crazy, the pooling. So I'm sure it won't. I mean, you didn't notice it when I had it on. I don't notice it when I put it on. But while I was knitting it, it was just like these sections were just stacking on top of each other, and it was making me crazy. And so I was doing my best to try and break it up. And I would say like the last 3 or 4 inches from about there up, it stopped pooling. So I don't know if their dyeing sequence got a little off or my gauge changed, but yeah, so there it is. US size 3, 3.25 millimeter needles. And it's going smashingly. I know I talked about going up a needle size. I ended up not doing that and just sticking with what was working for me. So that's on the needles, and it's in my Silver Shed project bag, Sesame Street project bag. We went out to dinner. Oh, I don't know. Steve and I went out a few nights ago. Yeah, it was we had our refresher childbirth class. I'm trying to remember if I've spoken with you since then. I think I did. Anyways, we ate at a bar, a Mexican bar, and the waiter was like, "I love your purse," teasing me. So, all right, you hear that? Moving on. There's like this crickety thing. I don't know if it's a cricket or a tree frog or what, but it's definitely a sign. Maybe it's an aphid. I don't know. Sign of spring, and I can hear it. And usually you hear them at night in this area, but Anyways, next on the needles, the Regia socks that I'm knitting for my dad. This is Regia Snowflake colorway. First one's done. You've seen it before. You know you have. 2x2 rib, toe up. Not a very exciting. It's a vanilla knit, I know. I'm knitting them on US Zeros 2.0 millimeter needles. I actually looked on the Knit Picks website because those are my preferred needles for double zeros, double aught, whatever you're supposed to call it, 00s. And they don't make them in fixed circulars, so I'm gonna have to visit my friends at Webb's sometime soon and see if they have any in the Knitter's Pride in that size. I think a practice just got out or something because there were a lot of cars driving by. But anyways, here's the second one. I've done a bit. Let's see. I'm thinking I was probably here-ish last time you saw me. Yeah. And we went for a family walk one night and I was strolling along with this on my wrist. That's why I switched project bags. So this could be on my wrist while I was just knitting away as I walked. You did it! Good job, bro. Hi. That was just lovely. I love it. But, what am I saying? 2x2 toe up. Gusset heel for my dad. They were supposed to be for his birthday, March 23rd. Clearly I've missed that, so they're now Father's Day socks. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind one bit. So, those socks are the... I don't really like the fabric so much, and they're dark, and they're not so much fun to knit. And these socks are my new favorites. So this is the opal. It's basically a brick colorway. I don't know. Different. Oh, would you like me to tell you? How about I be a good podcaster and tell you? It's for F-A-C-H colorway 7126 Moyer. That's what I'm going to call it. So these are on zeros as well, 2.0 millimeter needles, and I just love the fabric. It's perfect. They're the perfect marriage of needles and yarn, and the density is great. So I am knitting these. This was the one you had seen before. I think I had just done a little bit on the second one, and I am now right in the middle, just about to start the heel flap, going back and forth. So I finished my gussets. I'm knitting these for Steve's aunt, and I enlisted her daughter in some espionage and finding out her mother's shoe size, and there's a question if it's a 9 or 9.5. And so at the point when Kelly, her daughter, told me I was past the point where I would begin gusset increases, and I really don't like afterthought heels the way they fit as much as I like a gusset, and this is her first pair of hand knit socks, and I want them to fit really nice. And so I opted to work some funky stitch counts in through here in the increases, and you know, sneak in an increase here, an increase there, just to get through it. And I think it turned out all right. So I went to knit at lunch today because I'm nervous and I want to make sure this is gonna work. And so I'm just so scattered. A 9.5 woman's shoe is about a 10-inch foot. So there we go. So I'm working and I'm trying to get through the, you know, the triangular section at the end of the heel that you work before you start working the heel flap when you're working a sock. Like, just picture that in your head, right? So you have this tube, and then you have a triangle at the end, and then you go back and forth to make the box that encompasses the back of the foot. Anyways, I finished it. I'm like just at the very first row of the going back and forth for the flap, and I whipped out my measuring tape, and I was so excited. It measures exactly 10 inches. So I think they're gonna be perfect. Now just to recreate exactly the same thing on the second one. No pressure, no pressure. But yeah, so there you go. Toe up 2x2 rip. Love them. I know, for plain vanilla socks that you're like, Stephanie, you always have vanilla socks on the needles. Can't you knit something a little more exciting? I can, but I'm really excited about these right now. So that's what I'm working on. You know how I told you Tuesday I had a mummy's day off? Well, I had been working on my tubularity all day. Well, all morning for like 5 hours, right? And around noon, my hands are getting a little tired of knitting on size 3s because my muscle memory is mostly built into size 1s, or 0s. I can knit that real small size indefinitely. My hands never get tired, but the other sizes, larger, well, not smaller, but a little bit larger to very much larger, my hands get tired. That's how it works for me. Anyways, so around noon, I was like, I finished listening to Age of Innocence, which was the audiobook through Craftlit. Very good. Highly recommend it. I finished it and I was like, okay, well, let me just see what's going on Instagram. So I'm scrolling around on my phone and I saw that Dana of Unwind had posted a picture of her golden pear hat, which she had just finished. That's by Melissa Thompson. And I thought it just looked like so much fun. It was so cute. Worsted weight yarn, size 7 needles, 4.5mm needles, really quick knit. So I went looking around in the stash and what? Yes, I know it's teal. And shockingly, I finished it before 5:30 when Ro and Steve got home. So I was really excited to just whip up this quick little baby hat. I used Malabrigo Rios. That's the teal feather colorway. And then I used some of my Rhinebeck yarn, which is the red. That is Dragonfly Fibers Traveler Base in the Ruby Ruby colorway. So really quick, fun, cute little knit. I highly recommend it. You should go cast one on right now. And then you'll blink and I should knit these as baby gifts, which reminds me, I gave my friend her toddler, the one that's having twins, I gave her the baby vest. She thought they were so cute, was really happy with them. They were definitely, as always, the hit of the baby shower. And I felt bad because I had that trend of knitting everybody baby blankets, and so here I was giving her 2 tops instead of 2 baby blankets, but she was fine with it. She loved them. She was like, I have plenty of baby blankets, don't worry about that. I'm really happy to have these, and they're so unique. And since the twins are fraternal, the fact that just the collar, she really liked the fact that just the collars matched, that they're not like identical outfits. So yeah, I just wanted to go full circle with that. And I did post pictures of her holding them up going, oh, on Rav. So that was fun. What else do I have to show you? The Vivid, I'm sorry to say that there isn't progress here. In fact, I'm at the same point I was at last week. I don't think I touched this. And Tuesday I thought about it and then I was like, yeah, I don't feel like it. So, yeah, I have 3 and like a half a square to go on that, and overwhelmingly, thank you guys so much for your feedback. The option A, which was basically the rainbow with shading in the rainbow colors with green on the ends, so red, orange, yellow, green, so it's like blue, violet, red, orange, yellow, whatever. How it was a funky rainbow progression, but that was the one that people went with the most. So that's what I'm gonna do, which kind of had been holding me up because depending on which option I went with, it determined what my next 3 squares were gonna be for colors. So since you guys love that, that's what I'm gonna go with. And now I know what to knit for the next 3 squares, a red and 2 more purples. So I have no reason not to get my butt in gear and get that done. So that's that for knitting. I have some hibernating stuff. I'm not going to drag it out to show you. That's as close to hibernating as I think I'm going to get for today. I can hear a woodpecker. Can you hear a woodpecker? I know, you keep hearing cars go by, but there's a woodpecker too. I do have a book review for you. Yeah, okay. So, Stephanie Talent, who is the designer that I best know from Hitch, has published a new book, a new ebook. It's called The Wild West Volume 1 Lace. And let's see. I absolutely love a couple of these patterns in here. It is a wind, you're getting in my way. There we go, that's the page I was looking for. A 5 pattern ebook, and it retails for $20 on Ravelry. And I think she said there were going to be 4 or 5 books in this collection. So this is the first one, and it's focused on lace. And I can show you this page, which is just this wonderful, sort of like a mood compilation of the different pieces. This one right here is a piece of the Bisborn. I printed out the ones I liked. There we go. A piece of the, but did I print out the name of it? No, I didn't. Anyways, the Bisborn winds, pages. Oh, we're roughing it. I think it's totally old school podcasting, right? I'm not out here with my iPad showing you everything. I'm using paper, people. Paper. So there's the Bisborn. I think it's a Bisborn sweater. Anyways, I really love the construction of the sleeve. But it has this this two-color bit right there with the like sort of a unfinished raw edge of the lower colorway. I think that is a very interesting detail. And then my favorite piece is the Diamondback cowl. And let me tell you, Tuesday I anguished over this, right? Because I know that I had told you last time I was going to cast this on and have it to show you and give you a full review. And I could not come up with the right yarn to pair it with, and it was stressing me out, and I really want to knit it, but I want to knit orange. Like, for some reason, that's what I was picturing, and the orange yarn that I had in my head, I don't have enough yardage to do. And so then I was trying to figure out how to alter the pattern to make it work, and it was just not a good fit for me for right now. So that's gonna just go on the back burner. I'm gonna continue to love the Diamondback cowl, but I'm not gonna cast it on right away. But oh, the wind attacked you. I'm sorry. So there's that one, and then one of the other patterns in the book that's very pretty. There's a second beaded lace cowl in the book. So really great stuff there. For the price, you're getting 2 tops, 3 lacy cowls, and then a pair of socks. So 6 patterns for 20 bucks. Really good deal. I recommend it. Check it out if you're interested. So if you like knitting lace, it's definitely a lace heavy. Lots of very clear written instructions and charts. So I think that's it. That's the show for this week. I think it is time for me to do a little knitting. And until we talk again in about 10 days or so, I hope you enjoy what's going on in your knitting world. Take care. Bye.